Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk About Clutter. I'm your host, Margo, a professional organizer specializing in chronic clutter. And one of the most common areas of our home that is overflowing with stuff, you can probably guess it, no, it's not the kitchen, is our closets. Our closets tend to be incredibly chaotic. Our dresser drawers are probably overflowing, and you probably spend a ton of time searching for that t-shirt in the morning. So maybe you've tried to declutter your wardrobe in the past, and maybe you got rid of some things, and congratulations. But there's probably still a ton to go. Now, one thing you probably don't know about me is that I used to have a ton of clothing. I used to be a bargain shopper. I used to be one of those people that oh, it's a shirt, it's on sale, I'm gonna get it. Ooh, a pair of pants. I felt the need to literally have a different outfit every single day. Now, I live in New York. I live in a teeny tiny apartment, and we just don't have closet space. I have one closet in my entire apartment, and that closet, truth be told, belongs to my daughter. Myself, I now only have 2 dresser drawers of clothing, and I'm here to tell you that did not happen overnight. It took time. It actually took an entire year. And it's because I heard about something called Project 333, and it's all about capsule wardrobing and surviving on 33 items every single season. And some of you are probably like, oh my God, Margo, what are you, nuts? How could I survive like this? And I'm here to tell you that it's totally possible. I absolutely love having very little clothing. I hate decision fatigue. Decision fatigue drives me absolutely up the wall. It gives me anxiety. It stresses me out. I don't want it in my life. And also add to that I just don't have the luxury or the space to have a bunch of clothing. But I am here to tell you that once you declutter your wardrobe and only keep the items that you love, that are, I call them feel-good clothing, right? Everything in your wardrobe you should take out, put on, and look fabulous and feel good and feel confident. And the truth is, a lot of the stuff that we have in our wardrobe shames us. A lot of it doesn't look good on us. A lot of it is not the right fit. It's not the right size. And there's just too much of it. So today, I want to talk about 4 simple steps that helped me, and I hope will help you, achieve a clutter-free wardrobe full of feel good clothing. So before we jump into the 4 simple steps, I want to draw your attention to what you are wearing right now. Maybe you're wearing jeans and a t-shirt like me. That is like my uniform. Are you wearing slacks? Are you wearing a button down? Are you wearing loungewear? Are you wearing scrubs? Chances are your current outfit is reflective of what you wear on most days. Yet, if I were to ask to peek into your closet, that's right, let Margo into your wardrobe, I'd probably find a ton of clothing that most likely caters to someone else. Our wardrobes are overrun with clothing, most of which are for our fantasy selves. This is so common when I work with clients, when I'm hired to come in, help them declutter and organize their closets, which, by the way, I absolutely love. I love closet transformations. It's just so beautiful. But one of the things that I encounter again and again and again is a ton of clothing for our fantasy selves. To successfully declutter our closet, we first need to come to terms with who we are and what clothing fits our lifestyles. And that is one of the steps, and we're going to go through it step by step. I'm going to help you identify, who are you? What do you wear? What's your style? Once you identify that, this will make parting with items that much simpler and give you a clear understanding of what to keep. So let's jump into the steps. Let's start with the real versus fantasy self dilemma. Ditch the someday clothing. I'm doing air quotes right now. You can't see them, but there they are. Ditch the someday clothing. We wear 20% of our wardrobe 80% of the time, which means that 80% of what's currently in your closet and dressers you hardly or never wear and can probably do without. How mind-blowing is that? How mind-blowing is that? Maybe 10 years ago, you liked to party, go clubbing, living up the single life, get decked out in high heels, have makeup all done, and hair perfect. Today, maybe you're a mom of 3 working from home. You probably rock sweatpants and a t-shirt all day, and your idea of a night out is a shopping trip to Target without the kiddos. So, why is your closet filled with dresses and skirts, some even in sizes that are too big or too small? I remember when I was decluttering my wardrobe and becoming more minimalistic in what I wear. I found a bunch of blazers and dress shirts, and my fantasy self was like, keep them all. I'm going to be fully honest. I had a whole monologue with myself about why they should all remain in my closet. Now that was my fantasy self talking. The real me literally only wears jeans, t-shirts, and sweaters. And the last time I wore anything corporate related was like a decade ago. Yet a part of me was like, one day, knowing full well that that day would never come. And if it did, I can probably afford to go out and buy one dress shirt. Is this resonating? Does this sound familiar? Do you try to declutter and then your fantasy self kicks in? It's like, you might need this one day. And lo and behold, it's like 50 items that you might need someday. And now you're holding on to them for years and you've never worn them. When preparing to declutter your closet, it's important to understand what your lifestyle looks like. What do you wear on a daily basis? A great indication of this is looking into your laundry hamper, the clothing that tends to be a frequent flyer in the washing machine. That is your authentic self. So you want to keep more of that and you want to downsize the rest. All right, let's move on to step number 2. And it is defining your style. A lot of times we hold on to items because we don't truly resonate and truly understand our authentic self and what we wear all the time. We don't really understand our style. And look, there is nothing wrong with liking a bunch of eclectic items. I'll sometimes go into a store and I was like, oh my God, I love this dress. And maybe, just maybe, and I do this so much less frequently now, but there's still moments where like my anxiety is high and I probably shouldn't have gone into the store to begin with. And like I'll purchase a dress, I'll bring it home and I'll put it on and I'm like, I won't wear this. Like I wear a lot of nude colors and black and white. And periodically my fantasy self will pop in and be like, you should wear yellow and orange and purple. I remember I got a sweater that was like a bunch of different colors. And I don't know, I just connected with it so much. And I brought it home and I was like, what the heck did I buy? Like I will never, ever wear this, right? So all of that really changes once you define your style, right? And defining your style is really not, it doesn't put you in a box. Meaning, again, you can still have like that outgoing attire, right? For date night or whatever. But if your day-to-day self is loungewear, then that should make up the bulk of your closet. So let's go through some of the most common, there's actually 6 most common styles. And the most common styles are active, loungewear, casual, work, formal, and going out. I'm going to go through every single one and I'm going to give you examples of each. And as I'm going through it, I would love for you to be like, you know what, Margo? Yes, I resonate with that. And the one that you resonate with when you move forward and you start decluttering that closet, most of the clothing you keep should cater to that style. All right, let's start off with active. So active tends to be sports, exercise, and outdoor activities, right? So if you are somebody that spends a lot of time, exercising, running, or in general, you just feel comfortable in like tights and a tank tops, right? So this is usually t-shirts, tanks, shorts, tights, sweats, joggers, and jumpsuits. If that is what you typically wear, right, then you have more of an active style. The next one I find to be incredibly common, and that is loungewear. Now, everyone finds different pieces and styles comfortable, so it's going to look a little bit different depending on your preference. You can think of loungewear as something between pajamas and workout gear. So maybe you're somebody that loves your like loungy sweatsuits, right? Things that naturally just feel comfortable. It is comfort clothing. The third category is casual. So I tend to fit into the casual category. And this is also similar to loungewear. It's comfortable and low key in its aesthetic. This category includes things like sweatpants, loose tees, hoodies. It can also be jeans, t-shirts, a leather jacket, maybe some comfortable everyday dresses. Again, it's also comfort gear, but I find that casual is something that you can typically dress up or dress down. So for example, you wear, jeans and a t-shirt. You can wear them with slippers. You can wear them with Converse, right? To like drop off the kids to school. But then maybe you have to go, maybe you're going out with a girlfriend for brunch. All you got to do is slap on some heels, maybe throw on a leather jacket and a purse, and maybe even a necklace, and you're good to go. So I spend most of my life in jeans, tanks, or t-shirts. And then of course, when the winter weather sets in New York, then it's usually sweaters and jeans, but I can easily kind of transform any outfit into a going outfit. The fourth category is work and or business. So this would be pencil skirts, slacks, khakis, trousers, blouses, collared shirts, button-down shirts, sport coats, blazers, and sweaters. Obviously, it can also be things like scrubs. So if you tend to have a uniform that you wear for work 5 days a week, then that is your work or rather business attire. I remember working with a client and we were decluttering her wardrobe, and she was a nurse and she literally spent 6 days a week in scrubs. Yet when we began our journey with her closet, I want to say that like 90% of her wardrobe was like going out clothing. Meanwhile, she spent most of her time in scrubs. So it was just, there's a disconnect, right? Again, and I never tell anybody like what you should get rid of. Like if you love an item and you're like, I'm going to wear this, Margo, then absolutely keep it. But at the same time, we have to be realistic. If we open up our closet and all we wear is scrubs, but like the scrubs are like a teeny portion of the closet, and then everything else is all of this clothing for our fantasy self. Like it's the one day I will wear this, but now it's been like 9 years and you haven't worn it. I'm just saying, right? It's not about getting rid of all the clothing you have. It's about creating the right balance in your closet. The next section is formal wear. So this would be going out dressy attire, special events, and things like that. So a lot of the women I work with have so many of these outfits sitting in their closet, yet the last formal event they went to was their own wedding. Maybe you're like scrolling the internet and you find all these beautiful dresses. I know there's now like a hot website. It's called Shein. And they have a lot of like formal attire that's incredibly affordable. So I'll even sometimes browse that website and I'm like, ooh, this dress looks pretty. Ooh, this dress looks pretty. And then I'm like, Margo, where are you going? Where are you going to go? You don't go to formal events. I mean, again, it's about creating a balance. And then finally is going out attire. So going out attire is not as fancy as formal wear, and this would be clothing you wear for date night, for brunches, for going out to lounges, restaurants, and bars. Maybe, if you're in that season of your life right now, that is absolutely fantastic. If this is what you wear, then your closet should cater to your going out authentic self. But if this is just stuff that you used to do when you were like in your 20s before you were married with kids, I mean, it's nice, right? But I feel like a lot of times it's hard because it requires that we mourn our past life. But my whole thing is like onward, right? Let's move forward. When we live life, we tend to go from one season of our life to the next, right? So there could be a party season. There could be like an introverted season where maybe you like don't go out anywhere, or you're forced to not go out anywhere, like such as when we had the pandemic. But again, let's be real with who we are today, right? Let's kind of say, thank you so much for like that season of going out and all of that. And it was great. It was a great time in my life, but I have changed. My lifestyle had changed. And like, it's okay to say goodbye to that past self. It is absolutely okay. It's best to honor your current self, right? So once you have identified which category you fall into, meaning that you wear these types of clothing most often, get rid of Getting rid of items should become much easier. So let me give you an example. If you wear work attire 75% of the time, that should be the bulk of your wardrobe. If it's, let's say, 45% casual, 45% loungewear, and maybe 10% going out, then that should be your closet distribution. Of course, leave a few special occasions or holiday items. This will also help you make better buying decisions. While that blouse on sale for 50% off sounds great in theory, your casual wear self probably won't even wear it. So don't even look at it. Just walk away. Step 3, and this is how I was able to cut my own wardrobe by 75%, was by focusing on versatility and quality. So like I mentioned before, I used to be someone who had a shirt for every day of the week, a purse to go with it, and a pair of shoes as well. I tended to want to wear a different outfit every single day. And by different, I mean like visibly different. And as a result, I would purchase cheaper items every season because they wouldn't last. To make matters worse, I wouldn't follow the good old one in and one out rule. And I just kept purchasing without actually getting rid of or donating out of date or damaged clothing. I was literally just watching the mountain of clothing pile up. It wasn't until I started practicing wardrobe capsuling, specifically Project 333, that I completely changed my approach to buying apparel. After coming to terms with my real self, who literally wore the same few items over and over again, I was like, wait, what if I buy fewer but better quality items that I can both dress up or dress down when necessary? And that is when the real magic happened. I downsized my pants, my t-shirts, sweaters, shoes, and purses. I then created a list of higher quality, versatile items that fit my authentic self. Items that wouldn't wear out in a season, and little by little, I started investing in those. This for me was a complete game changer, right? Having a nice black t-shirt or having a nice black sweater, having a nice pair of jeans, right? That you can literally just be casual with. Like I mentioned earlier, you can put on, a pair of sneakers or Converse or slippers. And then if you need to go out, just slap on some high-heeled shoes, put on a necklace, and you're good to go, right? Versatility and quality. And look, it takes some planning, and I'm in no way, shape, or form saying like invest all of this money in like quality, versatile clothing. No, it took me a year to do this, one item at a time. I made a list of what I need, what I can survive on, right? Like how many pairs of pants do I need? Maybe it's 4 or 5 pairs of jeans. How many t-shirts do I need? And then one by one, I invested in higher, better quality clothing that is long lasting, that also I tend to go with things that are black, white, or neutral because those are classic colors that tend to be in style year in and year out. So make a list of what you need, right? And then just go down the list one item at a time and just go ahead and purchase it. Just make sure that your closet is full of feel-good clothing. Look, the goal is, right? This is how you know you've nailed it. Every single item in your closet should be something that you wear, right? Every single item in your dresser, you should be able to close your eyes, open your dresser drawer, like maybe you have a dresser drawer with t-shirts, right? You should be able to close your eyes, open the drawer, pick out a t-shirt, and you're good to go, right? It shouldn't be like, no. Okay, it should be super easy and seamless to get dressed. And by the way, not only does this save a lot of space, but it also saves a lot of time, right? We don't have that much time to get ready in the morning. How beautiful is it? You open up, your closet, you're like, okay, top t-shirt, boom. All right, top pair of pants, boom, and I'm out the door. What? It's a beautiful thing. It also makes it easier to like pack for traveling because you naturally don't own that much stuff. I speak from experience. All right, and now for step number 4. And this is some real talk. The truth is, decluttering your wardrobe will take time. When it comes to our wardrobes, we can rarely go atomic on attempt number 1. I mean, this typically applies to anything you're trying to declutter in your home, especially if this is like your first rodeo. You're not gonna, most of you, right? There's always that like 1% that goes atomic, right? That goes on a rampage, right? That like rage declutters where there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. That could be really effective. But for most of us, it will take multiple tries and a revamp of the clothing that you own. It requires that you build a muscle. It takes practice and eliminating the fear of letting go. Sometimes it's the psychological impact of letting go of our past self that can be challenging. My recommendation, as it is with absolutely anything in your home, is to start by getting rid of the easy stuff first. Yes, decluttering is a muscle. And the first time you declutter, you're going to get rid of 10%. The second time, 20%. The third time, 30%. And eventually, maybe you're going to be like, I'm going to capsule wardrobe. I'm going to do this crazy Project 333 where I only keep 33 items for an entire season. So what do I mean by the easy stuff first? Here are a few recommendations. So it could be things that have holes, that have pills, that have stains that won't come out, clothing, shoes, and purses that are outdated or out of style. It could be things that actually no longer fit you, like at all. Then you can move on to clear fantasy self items. So you can let go of that short mini skirt and those red pumps. It was a very sad day when I decluttered my red stilettos, but I was like, where am I wearing them to? Nowhere. Anyways, I digress. A little at a time will go a long way. And once you are down to the amount of clothing you feel comfortable with, the next time you purchase an item, buy one that is better quality and more lasting. So you don't have to replace it soon and have to go through the decluttering process all over again. It took me a little over a year with season changes and mindset shifts to get my wardrobe down to about 30 items. And I couldn't be happier. I literally fit into 2 dresser drawers. And keep in mind, I'm a content creator. So I'm literally on YouTube, on social media all the time. And if you really look closely, I pretty much wear the same things over and over again. And I don't care because I love it and it feels good. So I hope you found this episode helpful. I hope it encouraged you to at least walk over to your closet and get rid of just one random item that you know you don't love, that you don't need, and that does not fit your authentic self. As always, good luck on your decluttering journey. Thank you so much for listening, and remember to be good to yourself.